must unlearn what you have learned.
All right, I'll give it a try.
No. Try not. Do. Or do not. There is no try.
I think there's still something to be said about the theater experience. I feel like nowadays people downplay it quite a bit, and I don't know if it's just that people have gotten lazy.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
I feel like people don't value that experience anymore, and that's really unfortunate to me. Some of my fondest memories as a kid growing up involved going to the movie theater, seeing certain movies for the first time. Those moments are burned into my brain. Sharing that moment with my family, seeing the spectacle of it for the first time, it's just an amazing experience. It's part of why I love movies, because to me, the theater experience allows you to immerse yourself even more. When you're sitting at home, you're typically distracted.
Leia!
You're on your phone, you're doing other things while the movie's on. You're not really immersed in it. When you're in the theater, you don't have a choice but to be fully immersed in the experience. And I think that is why it's so important. Because a lot of times you can't soak in the whole experience by giving it half your attention. I think that's something that people should consider when they decide to support things like streaming services rather than theaters. Just my 2 cents on that.
Yeah. You're a real hero.
I'm not usually a re-release kind of guy. Like, I don't usually go see movies that are re-released in theaters. The only other re-release I've ever seen in theaters was actually A New Hope. And actually my dad took me to the theater to see the re-release, the special edition of A New Hope, back when that was released back in the 90s. So that's, again, one of those fond experiences going to the theater that have stuck in my mind.
Thank you. We're the Cantina Band. If you have any requests, shout them out. Play that same song. All right, same song. Here we go.
It's definitely a Star Wars thing. I think these movies demand to be seen on the big screen. And when it comes out that my favorite Star Wars movie is having its 40th anniversary and they're celebrating by re-releasing it in theaters, then that was just a no-brainer to me. I still got goosebumps every time those iconic moments happened. No matter how many times you've seen this movie, no matter how many times you've seen your favorite scene, it just hits different when you see it on the big screen, when it's larger than life and it's in your face.
I know.
Everything from the opening crawl to the I love you, I know line, to the training of Luke Skywalker, to the Luke versus Vader battle. Everything was just next level when you see it in that scale. And the fact that it still hits emotionally the way it does, to me, that's just a sign of a good movie. Like, if you have no emotional connection to the movie, then yeah, there's no reason to go see it again in the movie theaters. But if you have a strong emotional connection to the movie, I highly recommend that you go and make the effort to watch it on the big screen if you've never seen it before, because it's definitely worth it. Honestly, I just felt like a kid again. It was like I was sitting there watching it for the first time. I don't get that feeling with 95% of the modern movies that I watch in theaters.
I feel something.
You feel it?
Yes, I feel it.
That's the Force.
Really?
Wow, it must be really strong
Oh,
with
I've
you.
never felt any... Ow!
Those movies usually help me kill an afternoon for sure, but they don't command me to go back for repeat viewings. They don't make the hair stand up on my arms. Something that's missing for sure from modern entertainment is the rewatchability factor. My only gripe with seeing Empire in theaters this time is that I wish they would have had the original version of the movie rather than the special edition. If you're celebrating the 40-year anniversary of a movie, I would think you would want to have the version of the movie that people saw in theaters 40 years ago. Just my opinion. And I'm not a special edition hater by any means, like I don't despise them like some people do, but I've also come to appreciate the original versions of the movie. There's something cool to me about how things didn't quite mesh from movie to movie because George Lucas maybe had a change of heart on certain aspects. Like, the overall arc was always there, but there was little tiny details where things changed through the course of the 3 movies and they don't really mesh with each other. And I think that's kind of cool that continuity isn't perfect. But little things like the Emperor's original look from the original version.
There is a great disturbance in the Force.
Like, I'm kind of okay with him not looking the same from Empire Strikes Back to Return of the Jedi. Because even if you put the Revenge of the Sith version of the Emperor next to the Return of the Jedi version of the Emperor, they don't really go together either, so you might as well have just left the original version. He was more shadowy in the original version. You didn't see much of his face. You only see parts of it. He wasn't played by the same actor because they didn't have that character completely fleshed out yet when they originally made The Empire Strikes Back. I'm not going to go into specifics about each individual point between the originals and the special edition. I'm sure that's been done to death, but it's just a minor observation that I had. But overall, this movie is just perfect to me. It's why it's my favorite movie in the Star Wars franchise. It's why it's in my top 10 movies overall. I just think it's the perfect combination of George Lucas's world building and writing mixed with Irvin Kershner, who kind of kept him in line and pulled in the reins a little bit to basically just help him with the execution of his ideas.
I don't like sand.
This is why I always say George Lucas should always be involved in Star Wars. He doesn't necessarily have to be involved in a director capacity. He could just be writing, consulting, whatever the case may be, but he should always be there for the overall vision, and then you can have someone else execute it. And I think that's what's been missing from Star Wars for some time. One other thing I thought was cool about re-releasing this movie in theaters is that I saw a lot of families there today, and I just think that's really awesome because it's definitely old school Star Wars fans introducing these movies to the younger generations, to their kids. I think more so in the theater because now they get to experience it in the same way that you experienced it for the first time. It gives everyone the opportunity to teach their kids what good movies are and what good Star Wars is. That's what it's all about to me, is just passing on that love of movies, and I just thought that was really cool. So in closing, I'm just going to say, if you can, I know it's tough times right now. I know a lot of people are going through a lot, and there's things to be scared of, and there's reasons to not go out, and I completely understand that. So I'm not encouraging anyone to put themselves in danger or anything like that. But if you can do it safely, I encourage everyone to support movie theaters because they deserve our support. That's the way films were intended to be viewed. And to view them any other way, yes, it can be somewhat satisfying, but it's not quite as satisfying as that first experience. So I highly recommend you going out and checking out The Empire Strikes Back in theaters safely. If you're able to, it's definitely worth it. I highly recommend it. I think it was an awesome experience. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments down below. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time right here on Real Shift. Thanks for watching, and peace out.